Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of the TypeScript Tea Time. I'm your host Mirko and hope you have a beautiful day. Today is going to be the noisy stream. And why is that? Well, because we are doing a lot of SFX today. Sound effects for our Final Fantasy DnD fights controlled completely from Twitch chat if we wanted to. Currently, however, I basically just have the development console or the development open, and in particular I can click, for example, this button up here which says add debug adventurer, which you cannot really see because of the chat being up there, and then another adventurer spawns. So if this would be kind of the production right now, we would see that the monster is the orc in this case is trying to attack our adventurers. Those adventurers are controlled by you. So one of the you have as a person in chat, you come in, you type !join, then you get one of those characters. They will slide in like this, and then you can control them with the commands !attack, which just does a regular melee attack, or you can currently heal another person by doing !heal. And then somebody receives heal. For example, this amazing adventurer up here, number 82,159, is only on half health. So he could need some heal. And if we would heal, then it looks like this. So we have this little animation that somebody is doing something, and for example, this one is then receiving some heal. We also have, since yesterday, we have some slice and some attacks. See? Oh, this one. Nice. And all of that is already nice, but it would be much more awesome if we had the corresponding sound effects for that. So what I can do definitely is let's see, share my desktop audio. Currently it's muted, I think. No, it's not muted, but why do I not hear it? It should play some sound. No, currently we're in debug mode, so that's why. So I will share my desktop audio, and this is the part where it starts getting noisy. So I fiddled around a lot with interesting. Why is the to-do lists not showing up? There it is. Okay, perfect. I fiddled around a lot with open game art. So if I open the Trello board here, which is the to-dos are loaded from this Trello board, you see that for each of these SFXs here, let me zoom in a bit. SFX, for example, on adventure attack, SFX when the monster lands, SFX kind of a monster scream. The battle music should start after the scream. I'm not 100% sure whether this is like fits the theme, but it might be actually pretty cool. SFX on adventure joining, on monster attack, of course, if the usual people attack and have a sound, then of course the monster should also attack and have a sound. Then we have SFX on adventurer healing, and we want also a slice animation for the monster attack. So far we have like, can I move this? Shouldn't there be like another window? There it is. I want to move these and merge these two. So I think we do have a kind of a animation on receiving damage. We also have one for attack, like so. And you need to think of it like happening together. So you have the attack and then you receive damage, kind of like this, all together. And all of this needs to get some sounds. We do already have a background music as well as a victory fanfare, which is written by me. Background music is by Wolfgang under CC0 on hosted or distributed via OpenGameArt. And today we are going to forest through OpenGameArt some more to get more SFX. And I did most of that. So finding some good SFX takes a lot of time and effort, I have to say, and maybe cutting them in the right way or adjusting them in the right way also takes some effort. So I did that up front, but what I basically did, just so you know what I was doing all this time, you go to OpenGameArt, for example this one. Then you go to browse or sound effects, and then you can just search for something, for example for an explosion, and then you get a whole list of sound effects, and you can also choose some licenses. For example, I only want CC0 public domain, and then you get a lot of assets and can start listening to them and cutting the specific pieces that you want, you cut out and so on. So that's what I did basically the whole day. And what came out of it is this list here. We have a death flash, we have a gun, which is, the death flash is an explosion sound. We have a gun, which is like maybe I can just play them, I hope So this might now be loud. Excuse me if it is, but I tried to make it as good as possible. Yeah. Were you able to hear anything? So that's about it. Maybe slightly more. So that's the sound that you get. Then we also have more of a scream, which is pretty loud. So we have to rule that one down, regulate that one down. We have some sword attacks just for the adventurers. And we have our victory fanfare, which is the one that I've composed and used. Bosker Curl. I cannot speak Irish, but apparently it's the Irish word for music box. So Bosker Curl is this nice little project, and actually don't Google on it. Google about it directly, and instead go ideally via itch.io, because on the original website the link is down, but the itch.io link works perfectly fine, and I think it also has the latest version. Yeah, and I have some more in the list here. I've kind of shortlisted for each one. So let's get started. We have these flashy fight sounds, which are by under OGA by 3, which is pretty much the same as CC by 3, but slightly modified. And in particular, if we have BUI, we have to give out attribution. Not that I don't want to give attribution anyway, but nevertheless. So let's add those right here, and we say this is OGA minus BY 3.0, and it's created by Will Lehman. Thank you so much, Will Lehman. And we have, so these are sort 1a.mp3 and sort 1b.mp3. So I think, do we have to indicate when we have CC by 3.0? do we have proper credit? Did he write something about how we should additional sound FX by Will Lehman? Like so. Oop. And this is actually a whole pack. It comes in .wave. And I have this small little snippet that I created just today, which inside of a folder with a lot of just, yeah, this little snippet here, which creates out of a list of WAV files, it creates MP3 files with the help of MPEG, just in a bulk. So these two we have, and then we have additional sound FX by Will, and then changes. So transformed from .wav file into .mp3 files. It's not like we have to do this, but it's probably better if we do, just to be safe. Then we have those two. That means we can start working with them, I think. And that happens inside of, let's see, the adventurer, I suppose. Adventurer. Here we have our component, and we should see somewhere here is an attack. Come on, where are you? There it is. And in here we have a tween, which moves the character to the front, kind of this jumping animation, as well as staying then at the monster's place and moving back. In particular, we yesterday added this little on update. So here I probably want to animate the slice, and at this point also just say this.scene.sounds.play or sound. Okay, sound.play. So let's say slice 1. And then we need to add this one, the slice 1. So this is a key that we have to provide somewhere. And we also have to set the volume probably somehow. I don't know, 0.5 maybe at the beginning. Just for starters. Anything else? We don't want to loop it. We don't have a specific duration and so on. So I think we're good. And we want to play at an original speed. With the help of the rate, we could control the speed. So this looks fine. We have to add this key to our main scene or loading scene. Do we have a loading scene? We do. Perfect. So in here, we want to add a new, yeah, almost, my friend. Let's call this one slice 1, and we give it a path to the file. So sound is just, let's see, /assets/sounds, there we go, / and then the file name. So we can, it just prefixes the path, and then we call this one sort1a.mp3. And while we're at it, we can also do 1b. We call this one sort b, slice b. Maybe we can call it sort. Of course, we have to change it here then as well. Sort. So that should do the trick on that part. It's not muted right now. So if we add an adventurer, there it is. Can you hear that? Yeah, apparently you can. Can make it particular. I want to have the main music running. Music playing, and then we say true maybe. So if config.dev enabled and config.dev.music playing, then do the following. We want to play the battle loop, play BGM, and so on. Oh my goodness. That's why I'm that's why I want you that this is the noisy stream. So let me see here. The problem is, do I have it running twice? Just a second here. So we have dev mode here already. So I can probably move this one into the dev mode. And then we say something like, if config.music playing, then play the music. So one thing that I'm confused about is that we've heard this multiple times now. So one thing that makes sense is that because I had this running inside of the game and I have monitoring on probably. Oh, I don't. It plays twice. That's what I was thinking. Let me try that again once more. So if I unmute the page, unmute this, why do I hear it twice? Is the game still playing somewhere? I am confused. Seriously confused. I am confused. So from somewhere I still hear the sound, which is weird. Where do I hear the sound from? Not that one. The other one is down. Desktop audio also was off. So it was not just looping. Oh. That one is also not the right one. Just in case, let me switch off the volume there. Reload. I can still hear it. Interesting. So maybe I close all of these. I push this one over there. So it's not in this browser. That's for sure. Ah. No, I was actually muted. What happens now? Where's the music coming from? Seriously. Needs to be OBS then, huh? Somehow. OBS, what are you doing to me? Oh, that's very confusing. So where? So I have on my overlay that I usually use to play with you guys. First of all, it says shut down source when not visible, so that should be fine. And other than that, I also switched off the volume output. So it's not that one. I have another one that's running on a different port. Microphone, camera, stream elements. Just the regular audio output. Screen capture and to-dos. To-dos is also on a different port, yes. Indeed they are. Then what is playing the music? It's very confusing. Let me just maybe restart VS Code. Very intriguing. Where could this come from? Da-da-da. So for now I can hear it. Now it's off. Now everything seems to be fine. Oh no, not anymore. What is happening? As I said, it's the noisy stream today. Man, it just gets worse. The more I unmute stuff. Sorry, the more I mute stuff, the more it becomes unmuted. Oh. So the problem is, why do I want to enable the battle music? Because I need to have a reference point to which I can compare. Other than that, we could try to do something like Audacity, normalize loudness, multiple files. I think there is something. Normalize. Amplify and normalize audio tracks. How do they do it? I do not accept, thank you. Launch Audacity, open the file menu and select import. Click audio to open a file browser, blah blah. Navigate, select multiple, and then click the open button. And then select all of them. Okay, that seems to be possible. So I will click on open. And then we are inside of this directory here. And I can hopefully just select all of these and click open. Oh, and it opens like 20 windows instead of, oh, Jesus. Yeah, I doubt that this is working on Ubuntu. Does it say something like Windows? No, it doesn't. Oh, select the audio. Yeah, but the problem is it doesn't select it in all the others, does it? So if I go to normalize here, try it. Yeah, it doesn't change in the other one. Probably that's only a Windows feature. Meh. Being on Ubuntu. Jesus, no, I don't want to save them. There we go. Okay, well, then how do we do this? Let's see. What is... It can actually only be this one, right? So let's maybe change this one to a different port. And if I restart now, I again hear it multiple times. Why does it? Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. Then let's do it like this. We do the following. We do the following. We do something like private set or debug audio track. Then we give it a key, which is a string, and we do something like this. Yeah, as any. It's fine. Ah, it doesn't work. We cannot have a parameter here. So what we can, however, do is set this red loop right there, and then we go over to our maybe enable dev mode, and we say this.gui.add this comma and then a string to the property. So remember, in JavaScript, functions or methods of a class are also just functions or properties of that object. So let's give it a name. Play battle song, battle loop. Battle audio. Yeah, song. So that should work. Now if I unmute this one, it is unmuted, perfect. Now that works. The next big question is, how do I let you hear it? Okay, that works. So I don't know how the mix now is. I can only guess, but I hope that's fine. So, and inside of here we now want to add a debug adventurer, and when we attack, it's actually not too bad from a volume perspective. It might be slightly too noisy, to be honest. So I don't know, 0.2 maybe. And then if we add an adventurer and we start attacking, that's not too bad, right? I think that works. So one problem solved, which means we have our first to-do done, I think. Let's see. So we are actually doing on adventurer attack. And what we have done now is adventurer attack. Advance. Then the next one is going to be, let's do adventurer join. Join, because that's a fairly simple one, I hope, at least. So from here I do want to add 1A and I do want to add 1B. Now that I think about it, I actually also want to randomize it slightly. So let's go here once more into the function where it calls the sort sound. And then we say something like const. I called it 1 or 2, right? Unfortunately, then maybe let's call it 0 and 1 instead, inside of the loading scene. So we go once more into here, and we have 1 and we have now 0, because in computer science everything is 0 based. Const 0 or 1 is equal to random of 1. And then we can just add it right here, 0 or 1. Bams. And this way it will just randomly pick one of the two sounds. We might want to make it actually persistent per user, but for the time being I think this is fine. Right. Play attack sound. Bams. So let's look at it once more. So we do something like this, and we have our amazing adventurer, and yeah. Also from the timing perspective of the animation, I think it is just perfect. So I take it. Bams. We should be able to listen to hear another one now if we. Yeah, that one was a different one. We now have that one covered. Those two sounds. Can remove the music playing thing because everything is broken if we try to do it like that. And then it should be fine. Cool. So that's one down. Then the next one is our join, and let me look at what we have there. We actually have two. One is chainmail and one is just footsteps. And I do think the footsteps are actually nicer. So the footsteps come from this pack, Fantasy Sound Effects Library, which is pretty amazing actually, and also pretty large, to be honest. So check that out if you're interested. License under CC by 3. And I did already download that one. And did I put it inside of here? Apparently I didn't. So let me open this. Go to downloads, and then I have the sound effects right here. So I'm now in the Fantasy Sound Library. Go inside of there. MP3 footsteps. And the two that are kind of good, I think, is this first one. I hope its audio is okay-ish. Okay, that was way too... It's very, very short. This one is slightly too long, if you ask me. So I imagine them coming, kind of sprinting into the battle. So I want to play this one like 20 times in a row. I think that should be alright-ish. So let's move this one over here. It comes from this pack, so we have to add that to the acknowledgement. Sounds, of course. Dub. And we say this file here by Little Robot Sound Factory. Under CC by 3.0. And do they have acknowledgement? There it is. Little Sound Factory, and then a link. Website. Little sound. Maybe just like so. Why do you not do the thing? Because it's not HTTP and stuff. So let's see how we did that. Like so, and then like so, and so. And then we say www dot, and we say HTTPS, hopefully. Loading, not secure. Oh man. Let me open that in a safe browser for just a second. I suppose the website is actually down by now. From when did they upload it? And provide this link where possible. Well, we can provide it, but it seems to be down. Website, this warning, website seems to have changed. Okay, I guess that's how it goes. Yep. So, and now we can play around with that one. So, no changes made. And then we can just go into our adventurers and we have our join, I think. Join. There we have our tween for 2100 milliseconds. And I suppose we can do something like this. .sound.play. And we give it a key of footsteps and some configuration. Now let's see. We do want to actually, let's see here. What do we have? Duration, maybe. Duration 2100. Name is required in sound marker. Okay. Phaser3 sound duration. Maybe we can, what we actually want is like play sound n times. Well, maybe that doesn't work. Properties, durations of this sound. Okay, that looks to be good. But why do we need to provide a string then? A name. Footsteps. I kind of imagine the name to be, if we have an audio atlas essentially, like multiple SFXs or soundtracks in a single file, then I can imagine why we would provide a name. But currently, I don't quite know why we should do that. Loading scene. Let's add it down below here. We call it footsteps and we have a very difficult file name, footstep subscript dirt subscript 00.mp3. Well, that's a name. Let's see how that goes. And if it doesn't work, well, we try another thing. Did it already reload? I think it did. That's just the backend that it cannot access. So if we do, oh, let me lower the volume, of course, because the volume always is like terribly large, terribly loud. So here we go. Well, that's like very fast. I would have expected it to be more often. What if we loop this and we say true? Oops. Now it reloads. It doesn't loop it. That's interesting. It's kind of boring in the current state. So maybe you can hear that just ever so slightly. So like that, and maybe on complete here we say this dot scene dot sound dot stop. Here we just get a boolean. And not really a reference. Stop by key, footsteps. Exactly, GitHub Copilot. So let's see how that one works. Not at all. Great. Oh, okay. Apparently the configuration is just so long So we can do something like this here. Let's see. So we get the tween, I think, inside of this update method. And we can get that to say if tween.progress, yeah, it's greater than 0.8, then stop, please. Let's see how that works. Not really. 0.5. Yeah. I actually only want to play this 3 times in a row, I think. How do I do that? Phaser3 sound, play n times in a row. HMF of sound manager, audio play on event. Allow only one sound. Sound repeat. We only ever have a loop, it seems. I don't want to loop it, I just want to replay it. I mean, what we can do is instead of doing this manually, we do something like this. We just sample it after another. Like once. Come on. Twice. 3 times. So we have maybe 4 times is fine, I think. And if we take that one and we export it as MP3, footstep 000, repeat, maybe, save it. Yeah, what he says. So now we go to the loading scene and we say this should be repeat. Now something is broken. Doesn't quite work the way that I wanted it. Also 4 times is too much. Maybe just 3 times. Is that the solution that we go for? Yeah, override it. Thank you. Let's reload here once more. Maybe just 2 times? Did I mess that one up? Let's take only 2. Oh, I learned a new thing today. Inside of Audacity. Yeah, this is fun. It doesn't really play it for whatever reason. It's still looping it. Damn it. That of course makes no sense then. We don't want to loop. If we have the repeated file, we don't want to loop. So I say set this to repeat again, and now we should see something different. That's not too bad. is it? Don't you think? I mean, we also don't run into any trouble because we basically it always stops from by itself, so we don't have to manage that one, which with sounds can be kind of annoying. So I will take it. So what we do here instead then is acknowledgement, sounds, and then we do minus repeat. Changes from original, which was from original file, this one, duplicated, drag, repeat, drag twice in a row, maybe like that. We don't have to indicate the changes anyway, so I'm fine with this. Let's send that one to Git, and I think then we're good. We can delete the original file, and then we have it. That's not bad, is it? I like it. All right. That said, we have done the join. The next fun stuff is I'm loving it. Monster landing. That's going to be fun, I think. Exclamation mark, doing monster landing. So this is going to be fun. We take deathflash.mp3. So that comes from where? Let's look at it here. Thanks to Blender Foundation, submitted by Lamute under CC by 3.0. So if you want to check that one out, it's right there. Yeah, I will make this very, very low in the volume, and then so it's kind of intense, like so. So that's kind of more of an explosion. Oh man, I didn't mean to close it because I still need it. So made a mistake here. This needs to go away. Then we have, does it say anything about attribution? There's no way, no specific way on how to attribute. So what we will just do is this, we say by Blender Foundation and submitted by Lamute under CC by 3.0. Thank you. No changes made. Changes, none. So this one, and then that one. And then now comes some fun stuff, I think. We go into the monster. And somewhere we have the landing, I think. Ambush, there we go. And at some point we start the screen shake as well as emitting some particles. So let's look at it again once more. When the monster falls down, the screen starts shaking, and we also see a little dust here. And exactly when the dust comes, that's also the point in time where I want to say this.scene.sound.play. Ground shake or explosion, I don't know, I call it ground shake for now. We want to set the volume very, very low, 0. I don't know, 1, because it's immense. We don't want to change anything else as far as I understand. What does this one look like actually? Oh, okay. We can, inside of the config, we can put a config, interesting. So let's go into the loading scene. I mean, by now you know what I'm doing here. We add ground shake, and I add this one as death flash dot, not OGG, but MP3. And that's already it, I think. Whoa. It already happened. Sweet. Look at it. Isn't that nice? I like it. It's a little ridiculous for small kobolds, but nevertheless, it definitely shows some impact. And then usually you would have this. So cool. I think we're done with this one. That was fairly simple. Then exclamation mark done, landing, exclamation mark doing, scream. This is going to be interesting. So what I think about is you have the landing, and then once it settles down slightly, it starts screaming, or actually right at the same time or slightly after. I'm not sure yet. And the scream it's going to do, let's regulate the volume down here, is either a short one or a long one. I'm not 100% sure yet. I think about the short one, to be honest. Wow, that's terribly loud. The long one is even like this. Okay. That said, let's try the short one first. So this comes from, let's see, horror screen. Where's, close that one. This one, it's a CC0, so we don't have to do anything actually, but I will do it anyway, because we have to thank those people, as I say, again and again and again and again. So in this case, it's Scream Horror one short dot MP3 by, so the changes shortened and fade in as well as fade out added. So we add the link, it's under CC0, and Vinrex is the person who creates this. It is a pretty cool sound effect, to be honest. I like it a lot. Okay, now we can use it. This one. We go again into the loading scene because we do that all the time. We add this right there, and then we say scream, monster scream. Apparently with minus signs. Whoa. It's still exploding in the background. Which is kind of interesting. If you don't expect it. I was just saving, and because it reloads the page again and again, it actually triggered the boom. So for the time being, let's just add it right here as well. This.scene.play, and then we say monster scream. We give it a configuration. We give it some volume of 0.05 maybe, and then we see how it goes. I don't like that. I would like this one to finish. What if we use add? We get a bass sound. Let's see. Const ground shake is equal to that one. Then we can say ground shake probably dot play, I guess. Do we have play? Yes, we have play. And then we can probably set something like ground shake dot once complete event. So this comes from Phaser3 audio. These nodes, we have a list of events down here. We have play and we have complete in particular. So on complete, I want to play this other sound here. Yeah. If we now add some screen shake here again, this scene.cameras dot shake or main dot shake once more for like, I don't know, a second, a complete one, 0.02 and true maybe. It stops slightly too short. Now doesn't it? Yeah. In that case, let us maybe try the other one, which is the unshortened version. But I think the unshortened version has one problem. Oh, you cannot actually hear it, right? Let's look at it once more. I like that, actually. I like that. Let's just make the screen shake actually even longer. And then we see. And if we had now some effects which like rings go out of this, that would be even more amazing. But other than that, let's look at it once more. Yeah, maybe even slightly more shaking. 1000 or 2000 maybe? 2 seconds. And then the music starts. So actually, we probably want this one to be const scream equals dot add, and then we say scream dot play, and then we can use another one. How about this? We can add these two. Here we can say scream.play, and we can also say scream.on once complete. We can say play the battle music, which then instead of being a property of the whole thing, it's just a property of the monster, which also works, right? Because it's global anyway. So I think we can live with that. It might be just a tiny bit weird to think about at first, but I think we're good. Particularly, I do want to have the music start only after the death animation is actually finished. So it also helps us with that one. So right here we just say this dot play BGM battle loop. And then we have all the sounds right there. And now it's doing the thing again of playing a double. To do enable for production. Weirdly enough, this plays double if we have the browser open. All right. Of course, we also have to change this one then. We actually don't want to do that. We just add the monster. Is there a Phaser3 camera shake fade out? Effects of camera fade in, shake duration, shake intensity, camera shake start, camera shake complete. I mean, what we could do, but that probably looks terrible. Oh, where did I go? Maybe just make it even longer. Yeah, that works. I think for now we're good. Man, this is interesting. And this dude has to... Yeah, this is kind of annoying, but well, we are only doing SFX in this stream, so probably we can enable it as soon as we're done with this stream, right? So maybe I add a to-do for that. To-do enable BGM at end of stream. So we now have the monster. It has a lot more effects at the very beginning. And it also has a display BGM thing. Loading scene, we add the scream. The long one, in fact. So we need to change the acknowledgement once more. Oh, cancel. There goes all my efforts to shorten it. And the main scene does not have the battle loop anymore. And this one we can just throw away. Perfect. I mean, well, one thing less that we have to worry about. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's identical. So we have this one done, and I'm just switching around the to-dos up here. Next one. Let's do the adventurer heal, I think. Then we have the adventurers actually done. Close everything, and then we go to the adventurer. And what I wanted to do is refresh the to-dos so that you actually can see the updated list here. So the next one is the adventurer heal. For the adventurer heal, I have one more that I actually need to download. Oops, that was the wrong place to click. And incidentally closed my Trello window. There we go. This jingle heal. So looks like this. Okay, maybe some more sound. Yeah, that's about it. It is licensed under SA. SA is not ideal. I think. What is GPL? Oh, we can just click here. GNU public license. License summary. TLDR. Legal. Yeah, that's a good one, I think. GNU GPL3. This one. So we can modify, we can distribute, blah blah blah. We can use patent claims, we can commercially use it. We cannot sublicense it, and we cannot hold anyone liable, but we do have to do all of this. We don't have any problem with disclosing our source. We do have to include the copyright, include install instructions, disclose source, state changes, and include the original. That should be fine. Or we can also look at in GPL2. Maybe that's even nicer for us. This one. What's the difference? Oh, any modifications or software including compiler, including GPU license code must also be made available under the GPL. I don't want to change the license. It's already under and MIT, and I don't know whether I can have multiple licenses so easily, and so maybe we have to look for another heal, unfortunately. That kind of sucks. Or we can try this share alike, but the problem is I think we must then also make our complete game into CC by SA 3.0 licensed. Okay, so I think I have to look into the heal once more. Instead, let's do, so I mean, we're doing the same thing again and again and again and again and again, as you can see. Instead, I will do that at home probably, and you will, or out of stream. It's just 2 lines of code, right? And a lot of searching, unfortunately. Instead, we will do the slice animation. It's very, very similar to what we did last time. Yesterday, in fact, for the adventurer. Some masking and stuff. So if you look at the adventurer right here, let's see. If we attack, you see the actually you can see it like this, I think. Give me just a second. Close all of these. Exclamation mark slash. There it is. Yeah. So that's basically the thing that we want to add as well. Except that instead of using this single, we do more of a monster claw thing. So we can probably, most likely, we can have this animate slice pretty much copy and paste it. Then go into the monster and paste it under the attack right there. We do want to play the attack sound indeed. That's going to come in just a second. Let's remove that for now. Animate slice should happen on the attack. We do have to do some stuff there, however, then. Yeah. So on update, currently does nothing. So we want to have this to be a function which on the one hand calls set to curve position, but on the other hand does the following: if t path.t, the variable that we are interpolating here, is equal to 0.7, then we want to execute our this.animate slice function. We also, I think, want to have a bit of hold time. The explosions in the background. We want to have a bit of hold time so that the monster actually jumps to the character. So then does its attack and then jumps back. What did we have for this one? 600. So I suspect that the monster should have some more impact. Like it is larger most of the time, so it should be slightly slower than an adventurer. So instead of having hold time of 600 milliseconds, I just do 900 here. And then we see how it goes. Now, here comes the fun part. We don't want this one. Do we have the target? Yeah, we do have the target X and Y coordinates. So I can probably add those here. And then we have, I don't know, this one to be interface I point. The target is now an I point. And down here we also have the target to be an I point, and we can jump to that specific position instead, which should make things easier for us. So we say something like const target vector is target dot actually it has a lot more functions. I think we have to go into the main scene once more, and wherever monster.attack is called, we actually provide an adventurer. And in the adventurer in particular, it has like bottom right, get bottom center, and so on. Get center right. Get right center. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so we probably also want to have this function. Oh, we can actually just provide that one. Oh. Oh. Now I think we can jump slightly longer. Const max t is 0.8. We say this is max t to indicate that this is not coincidentally equal, but it should be like it's incidentally equal. And right here we can just use the x and y position of the target now. Target.x and target.y. Wait, do we want to have a left? No, we want the center, right? I think we want the center. So this one is get center instead. Let's see how that works. So I think the slice is now at the perfect position. So slice can, I think this can be exactly equal. The max t might be slightly different. Now we probably need to go to 0.75 maybe. So that this is the maximum t variable that the monster is actually jumping to. Let's try 0.8 maybe. And other than that, we want this slice to be something different. Let's look into shapes. Interesting. Shapes. There we go. We have this nice little slice, which is somewhat pixelated, but I hope it should be fine. We can take that one. The question is, what's the value of it? Let's go into shapes.json. I suppose it's one of the slashes, slice, sparks. Suppose it's one of the slashes. We can check this probably with the help of Phaser particle editor. So that's where these values actually come from. And we can just go to the frame and pick, for example, /1 is the wrong one. Okay, /2. Nope. /3. Nope. /4. Also not. then what are you? 12? No, that's also not it. Muzzle? I don't know what that actually means. Ooh, that looks rad. I love it. Light, flame, fire, dirt, circles. Scorches. Ah, this one. Scratch. Okay. I missed scratch inside of there. And the direction is perfect. So we should find scratch inside of here. Yeah, there. Scratch 0.1. And we can reference it like this inside of this big atlas of many values. And we don't want to set the rotation. We do want to put it at the very top, definitely. Do we? Well, that should be fine. And then we can start looking at it. So if I do an attack, man, I like it. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. But it is too far, right? So this T parameter, I think it needs to go to 0.7 probably. And ideally we would see this. Yeah, that looks good. Let's make it slightly larger because of course the monster has much more impact than our regular adventure app. So welcome to the new people in stream. We are developing this little game, which is kind of Final Fantasy or DnD battles originally. That's what we thought of. And in particular, you can play one of those characters. If you say hi in the chat, we can play around together. You get one of these characters and then you can start controlling them. You can start attacking. You can also, let me enable sounds, I hope. If that's too loud, please tell me. You have some sounds, you can cast a spell on another person and they get healed. Yay! We don't have a sound for that one yet. We also have this amazing oh, those are surprisingly quiet for whatever reason. Yeah, so that's a game that we're developing, and then currently I'm trying to... What am I actually trying to do? It's up there. I'm adding a slice or a scratch animation for the monster. Even though it might be kind of this flame elemental. Man, it's really rare that we get one and the same two in a row. Or this blob. That's just our fallback, by the way. So when it attacks, that's the wrong one, this one, it does this nice little scratch. And one thing that I do want to do now, however, is there's the scratch, and we can make it larger. I think I have to 4, and then I want to set a tint. The problem is the background is also in red, so I'm not sure which color we should actually take ideally. What do you think? Like a green maybe? Which looks fairly like a toxic. Orange is the most bloodiest one, or reddish. Or we just leave it white and gray. That's also an option, right? What is your opinion? Maybe we make it like this. That's most of the time, most of it is actually whitish, but just a tiny piece of it is in red. So we go to colors and we add another red, light red. Great. And then we say to hex of color dot light red. Color, import this light red. And now we go here, we see yeah, not quite what I expected, to be honest. Maybe we can change it to a stronger red. But everything is red. If everything is red, it just adds to each other, right? And it doesn't really become visible. Oh, why does it trigger twice, by the way? The screen shake. On yo-yo. We probably want to have this only once. And we probably already have it. That's why. So intensity more. I think 0.5 is actually the default. More intensity. Oh, that's too much. That's too much. 0.3 maybe. Yeah, not terrible. Not terrible, I think. And I would need to see it in action. But for now, I think, except for the tint, we're good. How does an adventurer actually look like when they get damage, received damage? Like, seriously red. And they died. I think we're good. I think we are good. We do, however, have to see it now in action, actually. For that to happen, I will mute this one and enable my overlay. And I would expect this one to actually load or so, but it doesn't. Ah, I did change the port. 8080. Now it reloads. There it is. Yeah, perfect. So now we can do exclamation mark. So if you want to join me, you can do exclamation mark join into the chat. That doesn't work. Ah, the backend is not running. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. And I also have to actually stop the the development settings. Oh, and we can actually also test it together with the battle sounds. Kind of integrated test here now. So you don't need to start. I do want to see. The thing that I want is to have this monitored. And then we go also to the monster. And we say somewhere we have a to-do here, and we do enable the to-do. So, and now everything should work together. If I go to /server and I start the game server, including MongoDB, because we save all of this so that we can play across multiple streams. Now this, oh, it's not, could not connect. Now it's connected. Okay, perfect. Now we should be able to write !ambush. There it is. Now, !join into the chat if you want to play it together with me here. And then you can start casting some spells, for example. Choo! And the monster will attack now from time to time. And we should see how they... Perfect. It's perfect. That was just immensely perfect right now. Attack with my sword. Oh, that was easy. Good. That worked pretty much perfectly. So it should stop at some point, I hope. But for whatever reason, it doesn't.